Hi Virgo, how are you? Welcome to my video. It is the end of September, the last week of September of 2019. And I've been picking up the impulses of spirit to give you this reading. So I hope you like it, my friends. It's been a wonderful day. It's been an incredible month. I know a lot of you Virgos out there have had a lot going on lately and recently with your job and all of your responsibilities and all those goals that you've set. So anyways, so I decided to give you this reading. I decided let me say first that I am not here as a fortune teller. This is not the style that I do my readings. What I do is I use three different tarot oracle cards, and there are a combination of astrology with numerology, and then angel cards. I love to use them all because I get a lot of information of what is the type of energy that the universe is supporting you right now. And then by the time I get to the tarot cards, this is where I get to see exactly what you've been doing with your energy. Now, I know that this information is not for all the Virgos out there. There's only some of you that will resonate with this, and those of you that don't, I'm sure that there are other people doing the same thing that I'm doing, speaking their truth, and that you can connect with them. So let's begin. Let's start, Virgo. I picked the cards already because sometimes it takes me longer when I shuffle the cards as I'm making the video, and then when it's time to download them in YouTube, it takes forever to download, okay? Now, if you feel that you want me to shuffle the cards while I'm doing the reading, let me know, because I will do that instead. But for now, this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm also doing readings for Virgo. If there's any other signs out there, people you want me to read you, let me know. All right, my friends. So let's start. So the first card that I got here was Mars. My God, this is the god of war. Are you at war with someone or something? Or maybe you're at war with yourself, Virgo, but not in a bad way. I don't think it's in a bad way. Maybe the war here is of the peaceful warrior, which is determined to make some changes that are going to benefit your personality. Could that be possible? This is an energy that comes with the element of fire. As we know, Mars rules Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. And the part of the body that represents Aries is the mind. So here I see an effort, a potential by energy. You are receiving this vibration from the universe that comes in a way that feels very pure. It hasn't been manipulated. When we tap into this type of energy, we get a lot of insights, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. It's like all of a sudden we just know things. Whatever questions we have in our mind, right away we have the answers because we're able to tap directly into the source of all knowing, and we get the answers right away. Now it's interesting because with this energy, we also get the energy that we need to do things daily. So if you have been feeling quite energized, if you've been feeling like you have a lot of energy to do things throughout the day, it's due to this energy. When we remove our emotional resistance, when we get our mind out of the way, when we get all of these stories that sometimes the mind has about what's good and what's not, and we start educating our mind to behave in a way that feels good, and we can work with our emotions nicely, then we're able to just flow this energy of all knowing through us effortlessly. And this is what it feels like with Mars here. I feel like many of you in this time, you're feeling quite satisfied and quite energized to the point that you're busy every day, and sometimes you may feel tired by the time you get home, but because you're feeling so satisfied that the next day you're able to start your day and get going, and you're not thinking very much, you're just doing. You're just flowing with that energy. No resistance, no obstacles. I'm just flowing. I'm just going along. And this is what I'm feeling with Virgos, is that because Virgos, the emotional association of Virgo is I analyze. You like to always look at all the details and have to understand why things are happening in the way they are. But with the Virgo that I'm connecting here is that you've come to a point in which you have understood that it doesn't always work to your advantage when you get too single focus on why things are happening. Why did he do this? This person did this to me. Why did they behave in the way that they did? Why did they treated me in the way that they did? So because you're not so focused in wanting to know, and you're more trusting, you're more working with your heart center, it's making it easier for you. Because this is the thing, when we work with our heart center, we instantly know whether the energy is positive or not. If we start using our mind trying to translate that feeling, that's what gets us in trouble, because the mind has a difficult time translating every emotion, so we lose the essence of that feeling. Virgo, you know this. So what you're doing is you're finally relaxed to the knowing that you don't have to know everything, and you don't have to know why people do the things they do. All you need to know is that what you're doing feels good to you. And that's how you're using your emotional mind, is that through your emotions, you're letting them guide you to go to places where the environment feels right. If you don't feel good, and then you need to get out of there, and you do. So as you are now connecting to your heart, you're working more efficiently, where you don't have to use the rational mind to decide what to do. And that's a great place to be, because that tells me that whatever information you're getting in support from the universe, especially from this energy of Mars, is being used in the right way. And no wonder you're feeling more energized. No wonder you have more time to be out there and connect to people, because Virgo, in the tarot, you're the hermit. That means that your environment where you feel the best is when you're alone with yourself. But the Virgo that I'm feeling here, I'm picking up on, is that you're actually thriving in an environment where there's a lot of different people. And back in the days, if you were surrounded by too many people, you would get to a point where you were exhausted and you needed to come home and recharge your batteries. Now, you're not letting those people and their energy get in the way. You're not. You've learned to ground your energy in a way that you have created these fields of protection where their stuff doesn't get in your life. It doesn't get in your reality or in your emotional. It doesn't affect your emotional state. And that is because you have nurtured your connection with your intuition in such a way that your world has become inside out. And as you understand more and more that how you connect to yourself is what creates and reflects your reality outside, it's become easier to not let the outside world to determine how you should feel. You become really good at nurturing and loving yourself and accepting all aspects of yourself. Because with Mars, the number 8 comes through which is the number of infinity. We're talking about multiple possibilities here, and you're knowing how to work with this energy. But the next card that came out was Uranus with the number 2, and 2 is about my priority is being okay with me. How do I treat myself? How do I judge myself? How do I feel about myself? And if I don't feel good, what do I need to do to feel good? Uranus is about doing a change, making a change, but in a revolutionary way. So with the number 2 here, as we're working with our own selves, we're using this creative energy of Mars, that wisdom that comes with that energy, and we're learning what to do and how to do it so that we can have a better connection with our intuitive side. And this is a reality in which you're not using your physical senses to get the evidence or the support that you need. This is about trusting only your intuition, because you know that the information is very direct, it's not contaminated. And it's just easier to say that feels right, because as when you say feel, you're feeling your whole body holistically, than saying, oh, what I see is this. And yes, even though I see this, I also see that. And these two vibrations are very contradictory. So how do I make sense? How do I bring them together? With the feeling, with the heart, it's easy to know how those two energies come together. So instead of you translating what your mind tells you, you're learning how to translate what your heart tells you. And that's a quality that comes from the feminine essence of creation. And harmonizing that energy takes a bit, but once you do, it's profound, the effects that has in the personality, but also around the personality. So here we're trusting, the Virgo is trusting how to use the intuition as the eyes, as the source of all decision making, to bring the information, but also the drive to go through all these changes that you've set out to do. Because you started about 3 years ago with the change of a relationship, and this was a major cataclysm that has created other different cycles and situations where you had to address it. You couldn't escape from this, because this change came at a soul level. And when the soul says, this is what you need to do, it doesn't matter how much you run away from it. This is what you need to do. You have to address it. But here comes the energy of Pisces that comes with the number 3. When I see the number 3, I love that number, because that tells me about harmony. Now, Pisces, interesting enough, look at that colorful card. It represents a lot of the colors of our chakra. So we're seeing blue, we're seeing red, green, right? So we're working here with the wisdom of our chakra, our energy centers, to help harmonize our thoughts and our emotions, which are the two minds that makes our personality grow and expand. And it's also what gives us the clarity of what, of how to choose what we're going to choose. Because, if we don't have clarity and we don't know what to do next, we get confused. Everything stops. So clarity is a very powerful tool to have. And the way that we can get that clarity is through surrendering to the heart, to the knowledge of the heart. And knowing that spirit communicates very different than the mind, very different than the physical senses. The mind has great qualities, but doesn't know everything. It only knows what happened yesterday. Your spirit, on the other hand, has access to infinite intelligence, can see beyond the mind, and is going to bring you information that is not just based on what your eyes see in that moment, but can see, from other perspectives. So the mind is kind of like the bottom of the mountain, and your spirit is on the top of the mountain. And that's kind of the analogy that I like to use. So here with Pisces, we are taking a chance this time around to go into the subconscious mind and draw a lot of those stories that we've created from experiences in the past that have not felt good. This is like opening Pandora's box. Okay, if there's shit in there that needs to come out, let's do it. I'm ready. And this time around, I am not going to let my favorite ice cream or my best friend to create a story or a distraction so that I don't feel this emotion that is so painful. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to sit with that to see, where does it come from? Where did I get it from? Just because we forgive someone, it doesn't mean that that memory still, that memory is not being released. So the fact that you forgive someone is the beginning step. The releasing of that memory from our vibrational body, that's another step. And that takes sometimes time. You have to find a method to be able to release that out of your body. Otherwise, it continues to be there. And in the way your mind reasons, it continues to use that story and that memory to keep you afraid, to keep you from, choosing something different or choosing to do it in a different way. I personally went through a change in my last relationship, and it was very painful. But I was working with plant medicine because I wanted to go deep within my subconscious mind and know why, after so many different relationships, I was still creating this type of relationship. And I stopped. I did plant medicine. I did a few ceremonies. I did about 8 or 9, I think. And then I stopped. And what I noticed was that I was still able to create the same experience when I was taking the plant without the plant. So my work continued of getting to know my shadow side. And what I've learned was that the reason why I chose to have this last relationship at a subconscious level was so that I can finally tap into the memory of what I went through with my mother when I was 5. And when I was 5, I had an experience with her where I believed that I was not good enough. And when I remember that, this time around, it wasn't so much what my mother said that I remember, but it was how I felt. So in that moment, I had this sudden memory of how I took it when my mother said, and how that stayed with me all of these years. And every time I would get involved with someone, in the back of my mind, my thing was that I needed to climb a mountain, and I needed to do all this work, and I needed to prove to this person how worthy I was so that I can accept that I was worthy of their love, their relationship. So I had to go through all of that. And when I realized that, I thought, am I out of my mind? Because you think, I had to do all of that for me to believe that I'm worthy of love? But that's how I chose not to love myself. So it's very healing when we start loving ourselves unconditionally, when there's no conditions, and you start even loving those aspects of you that you're not very proud of. And not until you recognize them, you cannot change them. So if you avoid them, if you don't want to deal with those emotions, you can't change them, and they're still there. Like a broken record. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, but it's showing up with a different face. So not until you say, yeah, I am not a nice person and I'm cold, you cannot get warm because you're not accepting that you're cold. So, and I'm just using that as an example. So, I remember how my partner used to tell me, why do you have to want to know everything? You're so analytical. And of course, I didn't see myself as that, but it wasn't until later that I'm like, he's right. Why is it that I get so hung up and why are you doing this? You got to tell me, explain to me. And it was like a dog with a bone, But of course, now because I trust my intuition, I say, you don't have to tell me all the details, because I know that if I'm patient and I pay attention to what's happening with the energy, because the energy doesn't get destroyed. That's a flawed premise. Energy gets transformed. So what started as love, it transforms into something else. And I need to pay attention to see if it transformed to, it works for me or not. And this is what we're doing all the time. So with Pisces here, we're learning to harmonize these emotions, these memories into a form that we can work with. And as we use these three energies, right, we can definitely create a new us, a new identity. We can navigate through waters that could be quite tumultuous and not create any imbalances. It's like, imagine the ocean where there is a tsunami and you see that coming your direction, and just to see the enormity of, or the immensity of that, situation coming your way can get you off your, it can get you out of balance. And that's what happens when we have storms in our lives, that we get pretty bent out of shape. But when you close your eyes and you know that you can swim by just surrendering to the water, because there is wisdom in the water, there is wisdom in the allowing, then things change. And this is what is being asked of you. Just trust the process. You come a long way, and you are not a quitter, Virgo. You have incredible qualities. So in this time around, you're learning how to use those qualities to work for you. And the more they work for you, the more your vibe, the musical note of your frequency and your aura is changing. And the people around you are noticing it. And that's why you've been so busy. That's why you have so many people that say, can we work together? I love having you around. By the way, you told me something last month, and guess what? It happened. And you're like, I don't even remember. But they're like, I do. Remember you said this and this and this? Oh, good. Good, good, good. And they're saying, my God, you're so on point. And you are, because of this flexibility, this elasticity that you're cultivating. And no wonder the angels are saying, hey, have you considered the career of, counselor, spiritual, advisor? That's what they're saying. And I know this is something that's been in your mind. So if you have had some hesitations or insecurities about making it happening, you're being supported to make that change. So for those of you who have had in your mind a career change, please continue, because you're being supported by the universe. And don't let that whatever energy you got going on with this person that I'm seeing here get in your way. I believe that the Virgo that I'm talking to, you know better. Because now as I look at the tarot, the first energy that comes up is the number 10. 10 is number 1. It's a new beginning of a cycle. And here with the number 1, we're talking about the energy of 1 is the energy of the magician. You being able to use your skills in a powerful way. Here, you have enough resources, enough information of knowing how to organize. You're using the organizing principle to work to your advantage. And you have enough about this information, if you have enough information about this person that is showing up here, there's someone here that you're attracted to and they're attracted to you. But this is someone that you've known for a while. They come in and out. They played hide and seek. And this time around, they came back. And for a short while, you were able to reconnect. But in this time around, you were able to see something about them that you didn't see before. And with the 10 here, I'm seeing that you have enough information about them that allows you to make the type of decision you're making. Because here, the energy that is coming across the second house, the energy that is helping you is judgment. And this judgment comes from the source of all knowing. Your connection to your intuition has brought this opportunity to create a situation in which allows you to see aspects of this person, something that they don't want to show you, but you're able to see it because the universe is on your side. You have the high priestess here working with you and helping you see what this person doesn't want you to see. This is somebody, by the way, who's very insecure. Emotional insecure. They also have issues with finances. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they're not telling you everything, because they're probably either ashamed or embarrassed to tell you that financially they're struggling and they cannot use their resources in order to, create the opportunity to come to see you or meet you or who knows what. They like you. They see you as someone who inspires them, somebody who's got it together, very nurturing, nourishing. They feel good around you. Oh, do they feel good about you? But that's not good enough. They also come through as very passionate. They come here as the King of Wands. So this is someone who's very passionate. They can make you feel so good. They do, Virgo. They say all the right things. Energetically, you feel their energy and it's like, oh, yes. And sexually, that's pretty good. The sexual aspect to here is very good. There is that, energy, passion. But again, as good as they are with their passion, this is someone who can say a lot of things, but when it comes to make it happen, they can't. So they're very good in the world, in the reality, in the realm of imagination, but when it comes in this real reality of the material world, they struggle. They struggle tremendously. But you have finally been able to see. So I'm picking up here two types of Virgo. One story, they walked away. They felt insecure and they felt afraid that you were catching up to them. So they decided to use an excuse to break away. And there's another story in which some of you, Virgo, decided to break away from them because you finally saw what you needed to see. The funny thing is that as they look back, all they have to show for is their insecurities. And those that broke away from you, Virgo, now they're saying, oh, what did I do? I let my insecurity get in the way of a relationship with someone that is actually very awesome. This woman or this man is very awesome. Why did I let my insecurity get in the way? So they're looking back and they're holding their swords. Oh, poor me with the number 5. What did I do? I got in my head and my head told me stories that were not true and now I'm regretting it. So they're having regrets. Because here in the 12th house, which is hidden things, they're thinking about you. They still do. They're still thinking about the connection that both of you have. While in the other hand, you, Virgo, with your intuition, some of you are saying, I've had enough, and have moved on. However, the Virgos that I'm picking up here, this energy is still around you. So my friends, if some of you are questioning and are thinking about, I'm going to wait and see what happens, according to the messengers here, they're saying, actually what you need to do instead is every day for 5 minutes, call upon the energy of your soulmate, because we are going to help you. We're going to connect the both of you in a way that you expected. We're going to bring you this person in a way that is going to surprise the heck out of you. So this is not the time for you to continue to focus and mentally try to figure out what it is that they're going to do next. And I know, Virgo, you can do that. I'm a Virgo myself. Here, the angels are saying, look, there are many options in your career. Why don't you focus and pay attention to that? Because that's where your attention needs to be. And counseling is one of them. So if you have thought about having your own practice, doing your own videos, speaking your truth, this is the time, because the universe is supporting you. This is not the time for you to sit around and say, oh, let me see what this person is going to do next. I wonder if they're going to talk to me, or I wonder if they're not. Especially those of you that they walked away and cut you off and feel still the connection. Those of you who walked away, I know that you're already in the next step. But I'm picking up here a vibe that this person's energy is still around you. And I'm hoping that the next reading that I give you, that this is gone. Because you've decided to clear away all of your vibration and basically told this person, hey, go with your head and with your thoughts and your insecurities somewhere else, because there's no room for that here. That's all I got, Virgo. My God, I am so proud of myself. I did it in 32 minutes. That's awesome. I gave you the messages that I needed to give you in 32 minutes, or maybe a little bit longer. But I feel so good, Virgo, because the Virgo that I'm picking up here, you are like in the path. You have had such an incredible energy upgrade that you are on it. You have so much clarity that you're like, you know what? I am not going to compromise my well-being for anyone. You know, like I've spent too many years being the rug of somebody else. And even after giving all of that, they were never ever capable of appreciating me fully. It's not that they didn't appreciate you, but they just couldn't live up to your expectations. So instead of me now wasting my time and energy to continue to do that, I am going to try something different. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use all of that energy for me, for myself, to help myself, to expand my life, my opportunities, and my abundance in different ways. And you know, it's not that you have this relationship with money that, you know, it's all about money now. Because the Virgo that I'm speaking with here, you know that money is just another way of attracting abundance, but there's many other ways. As a matter of fact, I have a great story for you. The other day I went to work, and I have my other job is retail. I work in cosmetics, and I've done that for many years, and I get a lot of, you know, I have a lot of love to that career. But I feel like now this is the career that I want to go to. And you know, in the last 3 or 4 years, everything that I've been doing is to ground the energy around, you know, what I'm doing spiritually, how I'm going to help other people. So the other day, you know, I go to my job because this is the way that I'm still, you know, bringing the financial support. And I didn't want to be there completely. So I thought, you know, but I'm not going to let this environment get the worst of me. So I'm going to do whatever I can to continue to feel good even when I'm here. Out of the blue, you guys, I had this couple that comes with $100 bill and said to me, I found this at the door here. All of a sudden, like, you know, my wheels were turning. You could see my eyes. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give it to security. But then I thought, no, because if I give it to security, they're going to keep it. So I went to my friend and I said, you know what? These people just gave me $100. I'm going to put it in my pocket. And if in the next 5 hours, the people don't come asking for their money, we're going to keep it. 5 hours later, I said, here, have $50, and I kept 50. Now that experience, I've had a few where I keep finding money, and it's sometimes $17. This time was $100. I mean, that couple could have kept that $100, but they gave it to me out of all the people that were in the store. So why me, right? But at this point in my life, I am so clear that the universe has such an incredible ways of showing me what is the vibration I have, what is the energy that I got going on. And that's one of the ways. And it's just helping me see how my connections to money has changed. That now, have you heard that saying, money grows in trees? It kind of feels that way. I feel like that. Like, yeah, money grows in trees. I'm not surprised if one day I kick a bag on the streets and it's filled with money. I have no doubt whatsoever. Now, I know that sounds crazy for the mind, and I'm sure some of you are going to say, that woman is crazy. But that's what the mind does. That's what your mind does. It cannot connect the dots. So I stopped relying on my mind and my reason to tell me how it is that I need to get from A to Z. So all I'm doing is trusting my heart, because my heart never lets me down. My heart never talks bad at me, and it never makes me feel like I'm not good enough. No. But my head can. So if I am feeling too uncomfortable, it's because I'm too much in my head, and those stories that my head tells me that I'm not good enough are active in my energy in the moment. So when I'm feeling like that, I know that it's not the moment to make any type of decisions. It's the moment for me to just chill, listen to music, do things that makes me feel inspired. And when my vibration changes, and then now I know that it's time for me to continue to move and make choices and make decisions that will help me. And that's what I feel with Virgo right now. Many of you are knowing this, and if you're not, my friends, and then it's time for you to get with the program, because this is what it feels like when you're creating by the choices that you make, not by, default. So when I have experiences like this, like that one that I had the other day, I feel so excited. Now, I don't let these things to always affect me or determine my state of being. I'm always feeling like, the relationship between my thoughts and my emotions is priority. So I don't have to create life experiences like this to make me feel better. I'm doing that on my own, because the nature of how this physical body has been created comes with that energy of unconditional love. So all I need to do is nurture it, even when my mind is telling me otherwise. Eventually the mind relaxes and surrenders to the knowing that yes, we're made from unconditional love. And that's what I've learned. So now I've shared it with you, Virgo. Take it for all it's worth. But just know that whatever is happening here right now, this is not the focus of attention. It should not be. Because the universe is working on bringing you that which you deserve. Okay, my friend, 38 minutes, 39 minutes. This is great. So if you want to have a personal reading, you can email me at createharmonywithlove@gmail.com. Don't forget to love yourself. I hope you like and enjoy my video. Until next time, namaste.